Well, hello and welcome to Adding Consultation to Your Practice. My name is Kavalin Day, and I am super excited to have you here today to talk about how to add consultation to your counseling or coaching practice. Now, whether you love your current caseload or you're completely burnt out on one to one and just want something different, adding consultation to your coaching or counseling practice is a great way to increase both your impact and your income. So let me ask you this. What do you want for your life? Are you on the verge of burning out? You've maxed out on the number of clients you can take day to day, week to week. Are you desiring to maybe scale back on your client hours? Maybe you want to be with your family. You've got a new baby coming in, or maybe you're caring for ailing parents and you just really need a little bit more flexibility. Or maybe you just want to have more control over your money. You want to add something to your bottom line, maybe an extra $500 or $1,000 each month very easily. Unlike traditional counseling, where EAP companies, insurance companies, or even personal budgets can limit the amount of income you expect to make, with consulting, you are working directly with organizations that have budgeted big dollars for your services. Now, in years past, the expectation was that mental health consulting maybe had like a limited market. But thanks in part to increasing stress in the workforce and a little thing called COVID, many organizations recognize that mental health does, in fact, impact every aspect of their business. And so they are now willing to pay consultants just like you to help them optimize their practice. Now, becoming a consultant isn't complicated, and chances are the expenses that you've already budgeted for your practice to be up and running can easily absorb any startup costs for this stream of revenue. But there are a few things that I will tell you would help you if you would consider them that'll let you make the most of that opportunity. Before we go too far, let me introduce myself. Hey, friend, I am Kavalin, and I started my coaching and consulting business about 8 years ago. At that time, I was a school counselor who loved helping my students and families succeed, but I also needed to make more than $40,000 as a mom of four. There were so many things that I had no clue about in terms of building a business when I started, but I knew there was a need, and I was just inspired to think that I could fill it. Now, over the years, I have worked with numerous multi-million dollar mission driven organizations, providing my unique approach to both mental health consulting and how it can impact the bottom line. That allowed me to walk away from my school counseling job, but also to take the cap off of my earning potential. But most importantly, it allowed me to be present for my kids. And that was so incredibly important to me when I walked away from my marriage of over 20 years and desperately needed additional income. I didn't want to have to go back to working more than one job. I wanted to be able to do it differently. Now, while I love working one on one with my clients, this stream has given me so much more freedom. Working one on one with clients always trades your specific time for a very specific amount of money. And what I have learned about the consulting business is that very often businesses are paying for your impact, not necessarily your time. That means I could suddenly work around my kids' soccer schedules. I could provide the solutions in the way that I wanted to. And more times than not, that did not take a full 8-hour day. But most importantly, because I could charge what I wanted to charge for each and every hour of my time, or I could package it, which was even better, by the way. Now, you've probably stumbled upon this video because you are looking for a way to add additional revenue stream to your business. Maybe that 37 cents that the insurance company said was your cost of living increase doesn't quite cut it for the cost of your expenses. Or you're just completely maxed out and can't stand the idea of having to take on one more client. Maybe you just really want more flexibility in your life. Or perhaps you just clicked on the link because you're curious. Let me give you a quick look of what it could look like in your life. Now, full disclosure, I'm going to give you as many details as I can, but at the end of this call today, I am going to give you an opportunity to get everything that you need. But first, let's talk about what it could look like for your life to have a little bit more flexibility. It's important to understand that when we talk about consulting, adding that to your existing business, it gives you an opportunity to write your own path. Some of the reasons I have encouraged my clients to take this step are highlighted in the photos you see on the screen. So, whether it's taking my kids on a field trip in the middle of the week without being worried about taking off time, or having an impromptu cookie party in the middle of a family weekend, or my favorite, being sent money while I'm sitting on the soccer field, or going to speaking engagements, being flying across the country, or driven across the country to share my impact and my vision for how it can be helpful. But more importantly, what about you? What would it look like if you had an additional 500, 1,000, or even $2,500 per month in your bottom line? What would that wiggle room mean in your life? Would it mean that your kids get to play in the activity of their dreams? Does it mean that you will be able to make those car repairs? Would it mean that you're more excited about waking up and not having to dread the 7 or 8 client day? Take a moment and really breathe in what that would mean for you. Now, keep in mind, there are benefits to consultation services for both you and the organizations that are going to hire you. So, for example, consulting can offer you a way to increase your revenue streams, and it can actually increase your profits, not just the money coming in. It does allow you to expand your client base because very often, as you consult, you bring more clients back to your office. So, this is incredibly important if you want to be a group practice as well. It allows you to provide opportunities for professional growth as you add additional things to your resume that you're able to do. For them, it allows them to maximize the impact of their benefit, their bottom line as well. A lot of companies limit their payroll costs, so maybe they can't afford to hire a full-time employee, but they still need some services. Maybe they only need 2 or 3 hours a week. They can hire you for that as opposed to having somebody on site full time. And when you start to give those additional resources that we'll talk a little bit about later on today, it helps by reducing costs for customer acquisition or staff turnover. So this benefits everyone. Now, I know you may have watched trainings in the past where they give you a little piece of the good stuff and then they hold all the best stuff behind a magic wall covered by a 5-figure entry fee. Here's what I'm going to promise you. What I'm going to tell you today is the exact steps you need to follow, and you can absolutely take what I'm giving you today, apply it to your business today, and start generating some income. As I mentioned, I will give you some helpful tips, and at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity if you'd like my help to make this go faster and maybe outline a few of the little speed bumps you might hit along the way. Because remember, I didn't have this information when I started. I had to learn the hard way. But I've had the benefit of some great business coaches and mentors along the way. I was selected a year ago to be a part of the inaugural member of the Goldman Sachs 1 Million Black Women in Business program. And so I've had a lot of people sow into me, and I love the opportunity of being able to sow into others. So I'm going to give you as much as I can during this quick video today, and I hope that it will make the impact for you that it has for me. So let's dive right in. Step 1 is to know your strengths. Now, I know this may sound a little bit crazy, but here's why I want you to start here. You have a lot to offer organizations. You are good at a lot of things, but that does not mean that you have to offer everything to the organizations that you work with. Now, here are some of the services that I and my clients have offered and provided under the heading of mental health consultation over the years. Needs assessment surveys, employee satisfaction surveys, focus groups, program evaluation, employee well-being program delivery, leadership development training, on-site student observation, on-site staff coaching, virtual staff coaching, curriculum development, potential employee interviews. All of these are things that people have paid me and my clients to do. And once you know your strengths and what you actually want to offer, that allows you to connect your experience with the needs of your market. You can position yourself as an expert who is worth your consultation rights. Now, you might want to market yourself and the way that you serve and your expertise, but you also want to make sure that you choose something you have passion about. Because again, we're not just trying to add another thing to your to do list. We want you to really enjoy the work that you're doing. Next, you're going to identify your target audience. This is determining the specific audience that you want to serve. Because you have to know their needs, their pain points, it's important that you are able to tailor your consulting services to address them. When I started my consulting business, I already told you I was a school of counseling. So I worked specifically with schools and youth serving organizations. Because I was a school counselor, I already had the degree. I had the experience. I had the expertise. So I could competently walk into any school or mentoring organization or after school program and speak with knowledge about the topics that they asked me. But make no mistake, when it comes to mental health, your impact can be felt in pretty much any area that a company would normally hire a consultant. Let me give you some examples. Let's talk about a company that is looking at business strategy. If we're looking at a company that's looking to improve their business strategy, you could assist them with the psychographics of their potential clients, their target demographics that will allow them to maximize the impact and effectiveness of their business. Marketing companies love to know how people think, and that is your strong suit. Banks or companies with a financial interest, you can help them incorporate strategies that target the psychological impact of financial trauma or optimizing their client education programs to include the emotional connections that are necessary to help people have behavioral change. They might be teaching in an area that you actually enjoy, and you can show them how to make it more valuable. Companies that provide human resource support or companies that have a limited budget for human resources may be willing to contract you as a consultant to address human resource needs. Things like having a in-house EAP rather than contracting with a large corporation might be right up your alley. You could go as far as helping them write job descriptions in an engaging way to connect with emotionally with potential employees or help them deal with performance improvement issues. A new one we've had recently is app development, where mental health professionals are being asked to provide feedback to organizations as they incorporate mental health components into their technology interfaces. This helps to both offset some of the pushback they're getting regarding tech and mental health, but also makes their apps more approachable. Maybe you want to work with lawyers. Maybe you want to let yourself be seen as a subject matter expert on a particular diagnosis. Your experience could be invaluable. I hope you're starting to see the variety of ways that your existing mental health degree or coaching certification can branch out and provide you with an additional income stream. And we have not even begun to scratch the surface, guys, because we didn't talk about just simply creating content or selling courses, because organizations will license that from you. They will buy rights to use that from you because they don't have the time to hire an entire team to provide professional development to their staff. Now, a little word of caution here because the opportunities are endless. I don't want you to spend all of your time daydreaming because this is about making you some money. I want you to think about one or two of these ideas, or maybe something that has been sparked while we've been talking. And I want you to get into more detail to create a plan because that's your next step. You've got to get organized with the plan. I always think it's crazy that when we have these master's degrees in counseling or social work, they talk all about helping other people, but nobody tells us how to create a business that will allow us to help other people. But you have to have a business plan. This is where you'll start outlining why people should hire you and how you're going to get paid. Most of us will never share our business plan with an actual customer. But if you ever want to get money for your business, like in a loan or a grant, or you want to maybe sell your business somewhere down the road, you'll need at least a basic business plan. If you want to get more advanced or integrated with your existing software, I recommend the app Life Plan for all your digital needs. But a very simple basic plan can work as well. You want to do things like project your revenue, your expenses, and that will make it essential for you to have a profitable consulting stream of your business. It's important to remember that a business plan is a living, breathing document. So it's going to change over time. Don't feel bad if you have to make adjustments. That's good, but you want to have everything in one place so you can stay organized. We're not trying to make this harder than it needs to be. Once you've created a plan, you'll be able to see what's profitable. And that should include what you want to outsource. So you are an expert in mental health. You're probably not an expert in tech or video production. So using a company like Fiverr to outsource some of these things for as little as $5 or maybe $20 to $30 really can allow you to maximize your impact and your profit. But you'll want to account for that in your business plan, which makes sure that you can set the prices for your consulting menu well. One of the things I will tell you people do all the time is underbid. And then they lose money because they haven't calculated all of the expenses that go into this. So for example, if you're going to provide something on site, you're going to go to a particular organization one day a week or one morning a week or what have you, you'll want to include your gas, your travel time, any, Wi-Fi router you might need or a new laptop. Those kind of things are the things that you want to consider when you're setting your budget for the things that you are charging. As you develop your consulting services, then you can create a range that will be on that menu. Now, I encourage you to market your consultation services online and offline. That might include social media, email marketing, content marketing like a blog or YouTube, and even adding SEO to your existing website. Now, you can attend conferences and events to showcase your expertise with potential clients because that will really help you to make the impact that you want to make. Keep in mind, companies that don't have the budget for a full-time employee will gladly pay you a higher than hourly rate for your services to avoid paying for full salary and benefits. So when you're looking to market your consultation services, you want to look at smaller companies as well as larger. Now, one of the ways you can begin to market is to look at your existing network. Let them know that you've hung up the shingle and your consulting doors are open. One of my very best contracts to date came from a company I was employed with. I literally sat through one of their professional development trainings, thought it was terrible, and pitched them on how I could do it better. Not only did they hire me to do the next workshop that they had, but then they hired me repeatedly for several years to come. And also remember, any company with a budget of at least $1 million probably has consulting already built in as a line item, especially if it's a nonprofit and they have to spend that money by the end of the year. So don't think that you're asking for money that they have to find for you. Most of the time, that money is already set aside to spend on you. Now, last but certainly not least, I'm sure it goes without saying that you have to deliver a high quality experience. You want to provide excellent customer service. Your clients are paying you top dollar and they deserve your best. Deliver high quality work. Make sure that you're communicating regularly and respond promptly to any questions or concerns that come up. One of the things I didn't know when I first started my consulting business, when you start to create these packages, a lot of times people want to have a standing meeting with you or they want to have a lot of access to you. So you might want to set up a way for them to communicate on the fly. Those are the things that people really like, that give them that extra special touch. It's not just about the money. You want to make sure that you're also having a high impact as well. I love to under promise and over deliver. That's one of my favorite things. So I have been known to throw in a little something extra just because I want to make sure that they have a great feeling when I leave. If you can make sure that you are always getting a positive word of mouth referral, you'll cut down on the money you ever have to spend on marketing. Now, we've given you a great overview about how to launch your consulting business. And as I told you, I did not hold anything back. I told you exactly the steps you need to follow and even some of my special tips about how to do it well. And you're probably starting to get excited. You're probably starting to see those unique ways where who you are and what you believe and what you know and how you've worked and all the things that you've done could show up and have a powerful impact in a business or nonprofit or organization right in your own community right now. And maybe you're saying to yourself, I think I can do it. I think you told the truth, Kathleen. I can do this right now by myself. But maybe you'd like a little bit more support. I told you I would tell you about a couple of opportunities, and so now I'm going to tell you. These are pretty simple. No heavy sales push here at all. Very, very simple. I have 2 opportunities right now that I'm going to share with you. And I hope that you'll decide one of these will be good for you because I love this work and I want to help you love it too. The first opportunity is super simple. You work with me one-on-one. It's the way that I've helped other practice owners in the past, and I know it can work for you. I will coach you to add an additional revenue stream to your business as a consultant. With this one, you're going to get to choose a time that works best for you based upon my calendar that I have available. We'll meet on a bi-weekly basis, one-on-one. You'll have full access to my templates and my examples that I've used to bring in multiple 6 figures in my business. But you'll also get my one-on-one attention. This is perfect for people who are highly motivated, who don't want to waste time, and just really want to get this done. Because this is a one-on-one package, it's just a monthly retainer that you'll pay at the beginning of the month. And we will do this. You'll meet those 2 times a month, and you can get as much work done whenever in between time as you want. The second option is a mastermind group. Now, this one I'm pretty excited about, but it's a pilot program because I haven't done it this way before. This will be a small group of maybe 6 to 8 practice owners who maybe, and I envision this to be for the practice owners that are just kind of starting out and maybe need a little bit more support. I'll walk you through adding this revenue stream to your business, but this will be done over the course of 8 weeks. So each week we'll meet as a group for 1 hour, and you'll be able to walk your way through each of these strategies. I'll be feeding you what to do next on a weekly basis. So you'll never get overwhelmed and we'll go all at the same pace. Now, the benefit of this is obviously there's a little bit of a lower cost price point because you're only paying for the group experience. But also, if you're looking to maybe increase your network, a lot of people feel the isolation that comes along with being a practice owner, especially if you're a solo practice owner and have just started out. You'll be able to build your network. Now, if you have someone who maybe has a niche that they're going to do consulting that's maybe complementary to yours, you'll already have somebody that you can refer to and who can refer back to you. So both of these are great options. It's just a matter of what works for you. If you have any questions at all about what might be the best fit, I want you to look for the link around this video to sign up for a call where my team and I can discuss with you what's going to be the best fit. But either way, I want you to make sure that you know you have exactly what it takes to be a consultant, and you have exactly what it takes to create the income and impact that you desire.